Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show. I am telling you, I am excited today. I have somebody with me that is going to make all of you guys excited. Her name is Danielle May. I said it wrong, by the way, on the video, the funny video. I don't know if you saw it coming in, but then I finally fixed myself. Say hello, Danielle.
Hi, I'm Daniella May. How are you?
She's running for City Council of the 31st District. Is that correct?
Yes, 31.
And you're running as Republican.
Yes, I am.
And by the way, guys, I can't tell you her age, but it's very funny. Anyways, you see, nobody laughs. She didn't even laugh. Anyways, everybody, we're going to talk about a lot of things with Danielle. She's coming in as a Republican. It's not that I'm only endorsing Republicans. I'm endorsing people that care about you. I'm endorsing somebody that, I'm going to tell you her history, that she's a nurse. Somebody that stood in the front lines of the pandemic. My hero. Right here. I'm going to try to make fun of her a little bit because, hey, I want to see if she can really stand up to us. I want to know if she can stand up to you, May. I want to know if she can stand up to the city council. Anyways, we're going to talk to Danielle. Welcome to the show, my friend. And by the way, I tell a joke and a quote, and I know nobody laughs, especially my producer. For some reason, he's never found one of my jokes funny. But my co-host, who's not here today, he's taking his wife out on a birthday. Is he crazy? I don't take Linda out on her birthday. I do. That's Linda, my wife.
Oh.
I tell everybody I don't buy her flowers. I buy her lotto tickets. Isn't that smarter?
I mean, she has a better chance of winning.
Right. I'm voting for her for sure now, okay? She finally switched sides to my side. Anyways, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to we're going to talk about a lot of different things that Danielle has on her mind. But before we start the show, I want to give a shout out to my beautiful granddaughters, Mira, Nava, and Layla. They're beautiful 4 years and 2 years old. And my new beautiful grandson, 4 months old, Yeshua, just wonderful. Sergeant Peter, I love you, Sergeant Peter. You know who you are. You are the best, wonderful guy in the world. Thank you for everything you do for us and the police department. Also, my friend Lenny the cop. Wonderful guy. He's not as good looking as me, but he's very wonderful. And, of course, we're going to say hello to my friend Ellie. And I want to give a shout out to my competitor, Carmen Yeager, because I'm going to beat you, man. I'm going to beat you hard. I'm going to beat you down, but I'm not going to play dirty. Well, at least not yet. I'm not going to play dirty, but we're going to play a clean fight. I'm hoping so, and I want you to do everything good. Anyways, oh, yeah, my son's birthday is March 30th. If it's not yet, we might have another show. He's trying to shut off my mic. Don't you dare shut off my mic. I'm going to deduct it from your pay. And Danielle's birthday is 7 days later. You believe it? Anyways, we're going to talk about the show, but in the meantime, I want to do a commercial for my wonderful friend Ezra Levy, who didn't show up again. Levy offices of Ezra Levy. And I want you to hear who this guy is. He wakes up in the middle of the night when I have kids arrested, when I have people with gun possession charges. This guy comes running and helps us get the guy out. He specializes in all criminal matters, including weapons possession, drug offenses, domestic violence, theft offenses, assaults, DWI, criminal and family court, order of protection offenses. 917-755-1187. 917-755-1187. His email is Ezra Levy Law Firm at gmail.com. It's Musabi right under me. EZRALEVYLAW FIRM at gmail.com. Ezra Levy Law Firm, 917-755-1187. You're in trouble, you call him, you call me. You can always reach out to me at justinoughheshy at gmail.com. And he's just a very good man. By the way, everybody, before I start my show, HeshyTishler.com. I could use the volunteers. I'm not scared of you donating money. You know, for me and Danielle, you donate $10, we get $90. You donate to us $100, we get $900 called matching funds. Right, Danielle?
Yes.
So, guys, we could use it. We want to win. We want to get in. Yes, I did raise the most money, to me and somebody else, the most money, and we got the most competitive money, but I want to go after Carmen in round 2 as well. So I need to raise the additional funds. I'm only like $9,000 away from my goal, and I get $184,000 to go after Carmen Yeager. So again, HeshyTishler.com. It should be popping up on the screen, or you can email me at justinoughheshy, JUSTENOUGH at gmail.com. Daniella, what is your website, if you don't mind?
My website is Daniella4ny.com. That's DANIELLAFORNY.com.
And guys, again, let me repeat it for you. DanielaForny.com. Too bad I didn't put it up on your screen. But she's going to send me something, and I'll bring it up during the week the whole time. Daniela, I'm wishing you luck, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to start the show any second. In the meantime, I have to tell you a joke. Daniela, first my quote. And I wrote this quote, Daniela, for you today. Really for you. I swear to you guys, I give you a quote every week. This quote is for Daniela, and I wanted to hear it. It's very serious, and I wanted to understand it. Here we go. I will leave you with this. There will be times when standing alone feels too hard and too scary. And there will be times when standing alone, feels too hard and too scary. And will doubt our ability to make our way through the uncertainty. Someone will say, don't do it. You don't have what it takes to survive the wilderness. This is when you reach deep into your wild heart and remind yourself, I am the wilderness. Daniela, I am so proud of you. It's going to be hard. We're going to tell you don't do it. We're going to tell you to give up. I don't even know how you make this campaign is hard for me. I'm sure they're torturing you. I know the field. I know raising the money. I know campaign. I know signatures. I mean, I'm up to 2,000 signatures, and I have a team, and I'm a pro, and I've done this already. I'm not a pro. I've done this a few times, so I know the tricks. I only know the tricks right now of how to get the signatures correctly, how to get the right lawyer, how to get the right team members, how to raise the right people, and how to even advertise. I don't know how to get those voters out yet. That's where now I'm stuck, but I have my 2 months to do it. So me and Daniela, we're out there. We're going to win. I know you can beat the wilderness. I know that you had a tough getting here. I know your family is a tough, hard-working business, American, lovable, and you, a nurse. And you're not a regular nurse. You were something serious, right?
Yes. So I worked in home care and in the operating room for a while. And then during the pandemic, I decided to actually take it to the front line and help doing COVID testing and throughout the whole entire New York City. So I got to see actually New York as a whole during its worst time. At
the worst time and the worst people. Well, before we go on with that, I got to tell you my joke if you don't mind.
Okay, go.
Okay. 1 year, I don't have a lot of money, so it's only 1 year. Me and Linda went down to Miami, and we wanted to go sailing. I wanted to show Linda that I could be a captain. So I rented a boat. But before you go out, you got to take a few classes. So one of the instructors, a sea captain, was holding a class, and me and Linda were there, and a couple of young women and men were learning how to sail like me. And all right, the captain says, now, if you were out at sea, suddenly a tremendous storm came up, what would you do? And he looks at me and Linda, we were in the front row, and he points and says, okay, young lad, whatever, what is your reply? So I said that if a storm comes out, you take the anchor and you throw it in the water. He says, very good, and he continues. He says, now if there's another tremendous storm, what do? I said, you take the other anchor and you throw it in the storm and into the water. He looks puzzled at me and says, well, what happens if there's another tremendous storm? I said, you take the next anchor and you throw it out. He asked me, where are you getting all these anchors? I said to him, where are you getting all these storms? I love you. If you laughed, I love you. Because nobody laughs. I thought that was very funny.
It was
Linda flipping her eyes at the time. She said, she embarrassing us in the class. I said, the man is asking me crazy questions. By the way, yesterday, Linda makes me nervous. You know, she's my wife for 32 years. She's done everything for me, but she makes me nervous. So yesterday, she's rushing me. I told her I got to get to the office. No, I want to go to Dunkin' Donuts. I got to go to the cleaners. And she doesn't like mailing her mail from a mailbox. She makes me drive her to the post office to mail the mail. Anyways, I'm rushing like crazy, and I had to meet a client, and we rushed to the office. We jump out of the car, and she goes into the office first, and I take out my papers, and I slam the car shut, and we're there already 9:30, and I'm sitting there till 7:30 with her. And when we come out, we're the last ones out. My phone is dead. I figured I'll recharge it. We get to the car. I see that the car was running. The car was running a whole day, and I ran out of gas. I mean, I didn't run out. It was still running, and Linda gets in the car. You know what she says? At least the car is warm. That's what she's worried about. The car's warm, not that we run out of gas. Somehow I made it to the gas station. And who do I blame? Linda, even though she said it's my fault. Anyways, that's the story for the day, and I want to talk. We're going to start our show. Daniela, are you crazy? You're running for city council, really? I mean, you're a young woman, future, smart, nurse, pretty, and you're the millennial. You're one of the young, new, powerful generation that could do anything. Why? Why are you joining these? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm also like you. I'm nuts. There has to be that we're nuts because we want to fight the system. We want to fight it from the inside. We know we can't win. And I fight 300 government agencies every day. I have the youth center. I have the children. I have the foster kids. I see the drugs. I see, like you told me before the show, you went to homeless shelters. You see that we're losing here. What are we going to do? Are you going to really make a change? I mean, people are going to say, oh, you're a woman. I mean, do you have a shot?
I mean, I have a great shot, especially because I grew up in the...
Not to win. I want to know that you're going to change. You're going to scream and holler at the top of your lungs.
Oh, yes. I'm going to scream it from the mountaintops because just seeing everything, how my district, how New York as a whole just really went down a downward spiral during the pandemic. Everyone started not to care about just the small things. The parks were a mess.
I opened up all 19 of the parks and I fought the mayor and I got arrested.
It's like you win, you
can't win.
You can't win. So I decided it was either between, I was studying to finish up my nursing degree, my bachelor's, and it was between that or run for city council when I started seeing how much of a mess it was, how everything still was the same problem from when I was 1 to when I turned 18 to now that I'm 30.
You're not supposed to say age. I didn't want to keep that a secret. No, you can say age. I have no problem. Beautiful 30-year-old girls. Just remember that. Go ahead.
I'm proud of it because I feel like I'm doing so much for my age to speak up with this voice in my community to let them know that things need to get done and we need to make a stand and just make sure that we bring everyone together so that we can make as much noise as possible to let them know that what incumbents are doing is not right and we need to change and we need to get in there and make it work for the people this time.
So I hear your ideology, beautiful. You're a nice millennial and I hear your philosophy, very good. Do you believe that crime is, according to your mayor, Adams, and I like Mayor Adams because he did help us, but now do you believe crime is better?
No. Petty crime is actually up.
Yeah.
And that's the main concern because they're getting locked up and released and come out because the crimes are so petty and there's not really any punishment for it. So I'll just do it again and come right back in.
So you don't believe in cashless bail?
No, I think we need to keep them in jail for these petty crimes so that they're not coming back out because then maybe they will actually learn that, all right, I can't do this again. But if there's a continuing spiral, if you're not, it's like a child. If you're not punished, you're going to continue doing the same thing. And I take the same ideology and into this. Business owners are suffering from these petty crimes.
Oh, yeah.
And they're getting hit hardest the most. Businesses are getting stuff stolen. Windows are getting crashed and shot in. Just around the corner, close to my district, a store that I used to frequent a lot growing up, they pulled out a gun on a store owner, older gentleman. 2 of them came in, a machine gun and a handgun. So these are the type of things that it's not, other crime may be down, but petty crime is up. And that's where we're all getting hit the most.
I'm being told that not only is crime coming down, shootings are coming down. What is your belief on the police? Support the police, or maybe we should cut another $1 billion off their budget?
I don't think the funding should be cut. What I believe is that we need to familiarize these police officers with the neighbors in the neighborhood because they're going to be here. They're going to be patrolling us. We need to develop that relationship with us. The business owners are asking for more police support and they're not getting it and they're being penalized for crimes that they cannot control. So they would like more of a presence in the neighborhood because if an officer is there, you're going to think twice about what you're going to do. We're not asking for you to do hard force. We're not asking you to lock everybody up. We're asking you to put a presence in the neighborhood so that business owners feel safe.
I love you. I don't mean to say it in a bad way. It's exactly what the answer I need to hear. Daniella, my next question is it's a tough one. Rikers Island, it's a mess. Now our mayor, they were supposed to build another place. It's supposed to be ready in 2027. Now they've pushed it off to 2029. The budget has now popped to $2.5 billion. Our city council budget went from $90 billion during COVID to $99 billion. Now we're at $107 billion. Are you qualified enough to sit down with me and other council members and see if we can cut this budget and stop the waste? Are we qualified to do this?
We are qualified to do this. As someone who's lived in the neighborhood and see how money I feel as though should be dispersed, the money needs to be reallocated to better programs as opposed to building bigger facilities. Building a bigger facility to hold more people isn't really going to solve the problem if you're not investing in those people who are working in those facilities to make the actual structure of everything a lot better. We're investing in the wrong things. We're investing in making it bigger, making it prettier, making it more green, and making it more electric. We need to invest in the actual
Taking
people.
away our streets and making plazas when we should be controlling traffic control and having, instead of them ticketing. I hate the cameras, Danielle. I hope you're going to fight with me on those cameras.
I will fight you tooth and nail on those cameras. I think they are a money grab. I think they are ridiculous. They are in the disenfranchised communities the most, and I don't like them.
Everybody, if this is not the, I wish I could move just to Far Rockaway right now. By the way, you didn't tell us, what is the 31st District? Where does it encompass?
So the 31st District encompasses JFK Airport, Laurelton, Avern, Edgemere, Brookville, and Rosedale. So that southeast part of Queens encompassing basically just JFK Airport, Far Rockaway up until the beaches, and like a little bit before Green Acres Mall, if you're familiar with the map. Yes, that back end of Rosedale and Laurelton area.
Your one of the main issues that you have, I know I promised not to talk about it. I have a problem with mental health. Not me. People do say I'm nuts. My son says I'm nuts. What is your opinion on mental health, postpartum depression for women? Do we just not, I know you're a woman. Is it not important enough? Because mental health leads to crime, and they put the crazy people into the jails when there should be more care for them, and we don't know how to distribute the money. I mean, Mrs. de Blasio, whatever her name was, other name, she spent $1.5 billion, and I keep repeating over and over again, wasted. If we were able to throw $1.5 billion away, there must be more money. There must be a way to solve this. We have to find the money. Do you think that this, I mean, and it's a very big thing, especially with the homeless. I mean, you're sleeping on the street. What do you think about this? What do you think we should do about this?
I think we actually need to do more for our mental health. And it has been a problem for a long time. A little fun fact, a story. I was around 18 years old. I had my vehicle parked on Jamaica Avenue. I woke up the next morning and all the windows in my car were bashed out. There's housing on Jamaica Avenue where they can house mentally ill people who can still, perform activities of daily living. So something with my vehicle must have triggered this gentleman, and he decided to bash all the windows out. So I say that to say we're just taking these people who need more help and more growth, so in order to live properly in a society, and put them on outside when they need more hope. They closed Creedmoor, and Creedmoor is not even. Creedmoor is a used to be. It's not there anymore, but used to be a psych facility in Queens. My high school was up the street from there, Martin Van Buren. And we used to make this joke, like, if you don't behave, we're going to commit you, because you used to get $50 if you commit somebody.
Oh, gosh.
So they closed that down. And that was huge. Where is the mental health care for those that end up being on the street? Postpartum care for moms. I know women who, when they had their babies, and it's sad to say they're not happy with their baby, but that's just a hormonal imbalance that happens with all women. You just carried a life for 9 months. You just gave birth. You just lost all your everything. You get pushed out of life. You have to push out a placenta after that. And the placenta actually holds a lot of your hormones and a lot of vitamins that your body actually needs. So your body's at a hormonal imbalance. And that's not taken into consideration when these moms are upset and crying. They need help, and I feel therapy and maybe more postpartum care should be included in that after, as well as with the baby checkups, a mom checkup.
You see, I never really explained it that way. I'm always fighting for postpartum. I know there are issues. This is right here, the person that explained it beautifully. You and I even now get a little bit more understanding. I know what it's about. I know that they have issues. And now you explain to us why they have these issues, and we have to find the money for that instead of just throwing it away on stupid programs like plaques and the green and stuff. And just, I'm so proud of you. I have a problem now, and this is a problem because I help a lot of landlords as well as I'm a receiver. And a lot of landlords don't want to rent their apartments because of the landlord-tenant problem, and they don't let you do background checks, criminal checks. Are we going to, I mean, of course, I don't want any slumlords and stuff like that when they get the violations. But don't you think that we should stand up for the landlords? We should allow them to do credit checks. We should allow them to raise their rents 2% as per the guidelines instead of holding them back always. We should allow them to fix up their apartments and get some money back, not to abuse the system. We should allow them to do criminal background histories and allow them. I have people who live by me who are felons. You just have to check their backgrounds. Make sure that they're not going to come up and kill your children, your mother, your father, your brother. So I think that, one, the taxes being raised by 18%, we have to do something about that. Just to create more revenue when we can cut our big governmental staff. And, of course, taxes. We have to look into it. We have to try to cut taxes.
So I feel like they're just taking away our choice with being able to do background checks on a tenant. They want us to not be able to know who's living next to us. If we have all these illegal migrants coming in who you guys aren't even doing checks on, and you're not allowing me to do a background check on, let's say, whoever is going to be, who checked them, and then you're telling me I can't check them. So now I'm not safe. I don't know who I'm living next door to. What if I have kids? I want to know. I need to know these things. We need to know. There are some companies who will be able to do background checks.
Right. If you don't give information, a landlord has a right to just deny your application, and you don't have to know why. So why not just let him do the background check on you and the criminal check, and this way you can at least fight it out that way. Do you believe that around New York City, we have children go to school? After the kids, the moms have to run and go pick them home after 3 o'clock. I've been fighting to raise money for aftercare programs that the mother doesn't have to lay out the $15 or $25 an hour for the other 3 hours. That's $75 a day. Times that by 5 days, that's $400 more, $1,200 more a month because she can't make it home and she needs that extra job. You're right, it's $75, but that $75 is a lot of food or a lot of stuff on that table per day, or even if she only does it 2 hours a day. We need to allow more people to get these aftercare programs, and we need to raise the money left and right.
This is actually something that I actually have in my notes of things to do, because my mom used to work 2 jobs. So she worked that day, she worked that night, and it was very hard trying to find someone who would actually watch us that
Do you
night.
have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I do.
How many?
I have like about 13 brothers and sisters.
Oh my!
Yes.
Well, I have 6 brothers and sisters.
Oh,
I
wow,
mean, 5 more besides me. Wow!
Yes, I beat you.
You crushed me on this, but I have 118 nephews and nieces.
Oh no, you got me there.
No. We had to make it up. You know what I mean? I had 21 foster kids, but I love you. Wow, beautiful. A lot of girls.
A lot of boys.
Oh, good, because girls are a problem.
You
must be great. I know that the girls were a heartache for me.
Yes.
You are trouble. I mean, you're beautiful, but something's... Wow. So you understand that the parents have to earn, and we take good care of you, but we need the work. We need the money for these programs, and that's very important. And I love you about the cameras as well, and that is something that blows me away. I want to switch topics. Now, you tell me, what is your main, what are you going after? I mean, what is your, I want to ask about, I'm sorry, your competitor, this DOT lady. Mm-hmm. Tell me about her. Why are you better than her?
Well, she's been in the seat for about, 2 years? She's had the seat. I feel like there's been enough time. You've had the resources, you have the connections to get things done, and nothing's really getting done. The infrastructure has been a huge problem in my district for a very long time. From when I grew up, it's been a problem, and it still continues to be a problem. And I'm actually tired of talking about how much of a problem it is, because we all know that it is one. The fixes to those seem to be rain gardens when they give us a budget for it, and that does nothing. We need to address that. That's not, we talk about Sandy, and Sandy happened almost 11 years ago. There was just a superstorm on Far Rockaway. Nothing was done, and even before Sandy, there was still a flooding problem. So the infrastructure in my district, even on Far Rockaway and even in Rosedale area, has been a problem since I could remember. My house still has a puddle in front of it since I got the house.
Yeah, I heard a lot of problems in there, but still,
Mm-hmm.
Sandy. Do you believe the police, that somebody asked, do you believe the police should live in the 5 boroughs who serve us, or they can live in Connecticut and Jersey and so on? What is your opinion on that? Or don't you have an opinion on that?
If I think they should live in the 5 boroughs, I don't know.
The truth of the matter is, I don't believe they have to live here, because if they have a better life and they want a bigger house and it's very expensive, I would like them to live here. I believe that that's where at least they should start. But you're right, they should be allowed. But again, they don't have to move to Jersey. They can go upstate. They can go to Muncie. There's so many other places if they want to go to other towns and quieter towns. New York, maybe you don't have to live in New York City, but you should be able to live in New York State. But then again, it bothers me because they have to travel every day, and if they can't make it in, or a big storm or whatever it is, New York City police should be able to be in New York. Even if you can't make it to your station house, at least you can go to another station house, just like us guys in New York. We have the 5 boroughs and run around. And somebody else asked a question. I don't know. I'm not going to read that anyways. Do you believe in what are you going to do about the congestion pricing? Now, it was supposed to come into effect that when you drive through New York City, you have to pay a toll. Now, you and I drive cars. Now, we drive to Manhattan. You and me go all over the city, especially you, Miss Nurse, who has to run around all over the place. I also work all over the boroughs. I'm driving through the city and I have to pay a toll. I'm driving back, I have to pay a toll. The people from the outer boroughs have to pay a toll. They pushed it off now for another year, and some guy wants to push it off even longer. It's crazy. I mean, you're just tolling us and taxing us. That's why they're able to raise the budget, because whenever they're getting screwed, they're able to just try to make another income source. What do you believe on congestion pricing?
I don't think we should have congestion pricing. I think it's all a part of a bigger plan to get the 15-minute cities out here. So the 15-minute city is basically, they basically want everyone on foot. This is why we have a lot of problems with the bike lanes. This is why we have a lot of problems with the dining sheds. All of those things.
I hate the dining sheds. I hate them.
I hate them. They take up space, they take up parking, but it's all a part of a bigger scheme of things. If you charge people money to drive, they're not going to want to drive. Everyone's going to end up wanting to park their car up and then end up doing what? Taking the bus. And what are we all on? Feet. Technically, we're supposed to be able to walk our districts in 15 minutes. So.
Oh, please.
Right.
Okay. I see, this is great. I want to get rid of those sheds. I want to be able to but do you believe that these inspectors from these 300 government agencies, do they target us minority communities? And I'm not talking the blacks and the Jews and the Hispanics I believe they come after us because not that we're not bright. We don't know the Fourth Amendment, that they can't walk into our stores without permission. We don't know the First Amendment. We don't know the Fifth Amendment, that we don't have to say a word. Yesterday, I had a guy in a restaurant, 5 men walked into his store. We're walking in here and we're going to check all around. And he called me right away. He stopped them because he knows I'm a friend and I eat over there. He says, Heshy, what do? I'm letting them in. I'm all nervous. I put them on the phone. I said, you can't come into the store. They said, we can come in. We have a badge. I promise you, this happened yesterday in Staten Island. I said, Inspector, maybe you don't know the Fourth Amendment. There's no possible way you're ever going to get in there. I'm coming in, he tells me, and I let him listen on speaker how I dialed 911 and I called the police. I said, Inspector, you walk into the store, you're going to be arrested. I swear to you, it happened yesterday in Staten Island. The guy was so proud of me. Inspector says, well, you're going to call and make an appointment. I says, he says, but now you're going to fix the problems. I said, that's the objective. Not for you to come in and violate these stores, not to violate a young man who, he was a young man, a Hispanic man, ran a beautiful little restaurant, Jewish boy, but it's Hispanic, and they went to get him because they didn't even know he's Jewish. And they went to go get him. I don't even want to tell you how many Crown Heights stores from the Jews and the black people that I've helped, and they just come after you and you sit there because you're shivering when you see that little silver badge. I know, Daniella, you're a tough girl, but some of us are not with the program, and we just let them in. They give us a $5,000, $7,000 penalty, and we're dead. The other week, every house on 16th Avenue and 17th Avenue got a garbage ticket. Every house. It's not like any of us did good. We were all criminals. Even I got one. And I sweep up, and he found that in my driveway, he saw napkins flying around on a wintry day. He gave me a $50 ticket, and my boxes were inside tied up, but they weren't shoved away right. But it wasn't me. I can afford the $50. You know how many people can't afford that $50? Mm-hmm. And that's my problem. And these are my issues that we have to look over the government agencies, you and I, sit down with commissioners. We in the city council, 1 of 51, can make these changes.
Yes.
You have any new legislation you're thinking about?
So
I really don't want new legislation. I want to just fight the old garbage.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that we fix what's going on in the city and fix the problem with what we have now before we introduce anything new. We need to fix everything what's going on. We need to fix the infrastructure. We need to get a hold on crime. We need to fix this education system that is...
Yeah. I mean, to what I understand, Daniela, these kids going to school just by getting a 27 on their grades is good enough. Is that acceptable, Daniela?
That is very unacceptable. That is unacceptable.
I'm not laughing. It bothers me.
No, because it bothers me too. I went to Catholic school for junior high school where passing was 75. And then when I went to public school for high school, passing was 65. And I was just like, okay, I don't have to do as much to pass. So imagine you keep training the public school system to do that. They're not educating us properly. The public systems, in my district specifically, we have the lowest, yes, ELA and math. Yes.
We need programs. We need aftercare programs. We need after-school programs. We need youth centers. By the way, Daniela, supposedly drugs is okay in New York City. Is that acceptable with you? I mean, Miss Nurse. Musaba, you just smoke a joint, take a little fentanyl, and the next day you're going back to work?
Fentanyl is ridiculous. I remember when we had in nursing, it is prescribed. It used to be a fentanyl patch. A lot of people that would have pain, they would get a patch, and that would be it. Very closely monitored. Now I'm seeing that it's so easy to grasp these things, and now fentanyl is laced in everything. Nothing's safe anymore.
Maybe fentanyl's not dangerous, Danielle.
No, fentanyl is definitely 100% dangerous. I do not want anybody to sit here and think that it is, because it is 100% very dangerous.
And what about marijuana? What's your opinion on that?
So my opinion on marijuana...
I have no problem, but not selling it on the...
That's the problem. So they are very good properties as far as medicinally. When they legalized marijuana, they left a lot of the disenfranchised communities out of that legalization, which pushed them to illegally sell this stuff on the street. Do I agree with that? No. Do I think that city council and those should work with those people who are actually doing those things and helping them actually get their license and not hand them a piece of paper and say, apply to this? Then yes, I do think that needs to, because there's a bridge. They're the ones making the money. And according to, I believe the Office of Cannabis Management, some of the funds from these legal dispensaries, once they actually get up and running, I believe there's a certain percentage that's supposed to be going back into the disenfranchised communities. So right.
Stop, Daniela.
Okay, right.
I didn't mean for you to stop.
But I get
it. You and I are going to fight. Daniela, I want to give you a hard time now. My friend Lenny the cop is on the phone.
Okay.
He's going to come after us. Lenny, are you on the phone with us?
Listen, I will not give Daniela a hard time. When your producer picked up the phone, I said I like her, but there's a couple of points I want to ask her. People in her district, unfortunately, are not going to look at her as a woman, and they're not going to look at her as a person of color. They're going to look at her as a Republican. And how do you get across your views without offending the Democrats or the people that are on the fence? How do you turn around and say, why is Letitia James, like somebody wrote there in one of the comments, teaching little kids about transvestites? They shouldn't be learning something like that at a young age. Stop, question, and frisk. I live in Staten Island. When I lock my car and walk into my house, I'm not worried about a stray bullet hitting me. It's the people that I'm concerned about on Ocean Avenue, Tennis Court, Crown Heights, Bed-Stuy. So the people that work, you say you came from a large family. Your mother and father, I'm sure, worked. Weren't they concerned about when they came home if their children, God forbid, were hit by a stray bullet? How do you convey this?
Well, it wasn't always that bad in the neighborhood. I grew up there. So growing up there as a young kid, we used to be outside freely all night, all day. It was not this bad. I want to say...
agreed. Years ago. Agreed.
Yes.
Years ago.
It was not that bad. Now, recently, it has gotten worse. My thing is, because I know a lot of people within the neighborhood, and I speak to them just how I speak to you. We have that when I speak to these all the constituents, we have the same views. Do I say I let them get to know me and get to hear what I have to say? And you're going to vote for me because of what I can do and what I know, and that I've been here and I've been in this neighborhood, and you've seen me around. You've probably seen my family, and you've seen that I'm here. So you know that I'm coming from a good space. Now, I've been practicing on my family to see, you know, where they stand. And obviously there's, you know, always there's debacles between, you know, what about our black and brown kids? But then we also have to think about, you know, they're still not safe walking to school. So you have to, it's a double-edged sword, but when the messaging is what is going to matter. I just speak to everyone of what we need. I ask this constituents what we need, and they would like, the business owners would like police presence. The neighbors want police. Go.
I'm sorry.
No, one minute, Lenny, before you go ahead, on my screen, you have Daniella for NY.com popping on. Somehow my producer did it. Thank you so much. Go to her website, check her out. But Lenny, before you go on, Daniella, you know, there's a lot of anti-Semitism in not the community, in New York City, and Lenny will tell you about it. And what do you think the relationship between the black community and the Jewish community? Some people say it's good. Some people say it's bad. I've never had an issue with the black community. I have my own pastor. I have my own friends. But do you? I mean, there are some people that are crazy on both sides. What is your thing? And do you think we have to fix it, or you think it's good?
We have a lot of the same issues. We want our kids to have a great education and have a choice in their education. We also want to have a choice about what gets injected into our children. So
I didn't say that, guys. Vaccine. Go ahead, Miss Nurse. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Lenny's not happy about that either. Go ahead.
Yes. So we.
I mean, Lenny, we should vaccine all of our children. No, shouldn't we vaccinate them?
That's another argument on another day. Let's hear what Danielle.
Yeah, let's hear what you have to say.
I only just met her on your show here. I like what she's saying, and I wish her the best, honestly.
Go ahead, Daniela. What do you think about that?
So, give us the choice. Give us the option. Do not force something on our children.
But I want to force you. You need it. That's what they're telling us. You must have it. And if you don't have it, there's long COVID. Is that true or not true?
Absolutely, it is not true. Coming from a medical standpoint, when a virus mutates so quickly, so when you get the flu shot, it's attenuated, a dead, alive virus from the year before. And that's what's getting injected in you, and your body's supposed to be able to fight that off. COVID mutates so rapidly that you cannot keep up. So there's no way you're going to be able to actually create a vaccine, because you're never actually going to be able to cure it, because it mutates too fast. This is why people have 5, 6, 7, 8 boosters, because you can never keep up with whatever virus was from before. So mandating that, I think it's honestly just a money grab and a way to force things, to force a lockdown, to force outdoor dining, to force an agenda, and I'm going back to the 15-minute cities, to force all of that. Because if you lock us down, you force us, we can't go outside. Now we're forced to order everything from inside. Now you tell everyone they need to have a dining shed outside you have to eat outside, inside, to not get COVID. But people who...
Do you believe they're killing us in the middle class? Do you believe they're killing us?
I believe...
When I say that, I mean with the cameras, with everything that they're doing to us. Who's fitting the bill?
The 30%.
I live out here in Staten Island. They're in the hotels over here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where is the money coming from?
I wish we had an answer. They don't even know where the money's coming from. They're printing it up and they're getting it from the sky.
I'm sure you pay rent. I'm sure your parents have if they don't have a mortgage, they had a mortgage. You know, how can we sustain all this money that we're paying out? How do we do this?
We're not going to be able to. Eventually, we're going to hit a recession, and we're not going to be able to. We're not. There was just the chair of the Department of Treasury, I believe, on the Federal Reserve, and Senate just had a discussion about it today. It's either force a recession.
$21,000. $21,000 for people, white, brown, whatever color, throwing Molotov cocktails at police cars and offices.
Yeah, Daniela, what do you say about that? What they were protesting? They were protesting. Maybe they were, some of them, but some of them, I was watching those protests, went crazy. Now they're getting $21,000 per person for being chained or
This is insane. This
paying.
They have sued and they won that those demonstrations that each person that was arrested or cuffed or detained gets $21,000 per person. Doesn't make a difference who you are.
And then they wonder why the economy is falling and when you're giving out money to stuff that doesn't need it when our kids are struggling.
Exactly. This is why the cameras are 24 hours.
Yep.
This is why congestion pricing wants to go. You got to grab the money from the middle class,
Yep.
the working bees, and how much can we take?
Yep.
How much can you keep hitting us with the money, the money, the money? When you go to the grocery store, you look at the prices of eggs and everything else. How much are you going to take from me? How much are you going to take from Daniella, from Heshy? How much?
Okay, but I want to go back to her philosophy on anti-Semitism. I mean, I want to answer on that, and it's a very serious answer for me. You know, there are people, doesn't make a difference what religion, are anti-Semites. Like I had a Palestinian Black Lives Matter come to my house just to kill me. He beat up somebody because he wore Israeli flag. Anti-Semitism is a bad, bad thing. And just by making a bill like they went to assembly or in the city, oh, we're going to punish you. But the truth of the matter is, do we punish them? We have to be able to build task forces to stop this. What is your opinion on anti-Semitism? And I know it's made for the Jewish people, but I want to hear your opinion. Do you even care about it?
I do, because people do not deserve to be treated unfairly. Everyone deserves to be treated fairly and with the utmost respect. So just because you are Jewish does not mean that you need to be disrespected or tolerate these things or these racial slurs. And we've been going through it for a long time. So I appreciate the Jewish community because of what you stick together. You do stick together, and I love that, and I appreciate that as a community, because that's how you get things done. Everything has to come together and make it work. So do I think anti-Semitism is okay? It's not. You do not deserve to bash and down talk and speak down on another ethnicity or religion because either you don't understand or you don't like what you see.
So that is something. And hate crimes, when they go after the Asian community or the Latino, whatever, these people who do this should be punished more. Am I correct?
Yes, they should.
Not just 18 months like this.
That's on an individual basis. I was a cop in Flatbush for 30 years. I treated everybody the same. I talk to everybody. I make a joke with this one. I make a joke with that one. If it's in you, then you need help, my friend. You need the help. It's not, I think, overall, I don't think, most black people hate white people. Most Italians hate Jews. I don't think it's that way at all. I think it's the individual. I mean, you're a person. I look at you as a person. I'll hold the door open for you no matter what color, what religion you are. You're just a nice person or you're not.
Lenny, this is why I love you so much. But Daniella, and somebody did specify on my question, he says, you understand that, and don't get angry at me, but a lot of the hate crimes do come from the from the black community to the Jews.
Really?
I'm just telling you, and I'm not knocking, but that's what people have said. Borough Park, it's not so bad. Maybe in Queens, it's not so bad. But in the Crown Heights area, that's where the mix of the Jews, and that's it. You don't have the Asian community, the Spanish community. You do have, what?
I think it's been getting better in Crown Heights. Don't forget, I retired out of Crown Heights. I did the last 4 years of my career, I worked in the 7-1 precinct. I think it's gotten a little better there. I see,
Well, it's the leaders. That's what Daniela, we have to sit down and bring business owners, bring leaders in both of our communities, and I believe that's how we can create jobs. We don't need to make fake jobs in the city. One of my plans is to go to business owners, create jobs for our youth, give them the jobs and give tax breaks, serious breaks to these business owners. Sit down in Crown Heights, in Far Rockaway, Queens, Bensonhurst. Say the owners, take 20, 30, 100 of them. Listen, guys, I want you to create an extra job, not just your regular job. Bring my people in. Let me bring a special kid in. Let me bring somebody that has trouble, and we will give you a bigger tax break.
Here's
what you're saying. The migrants that are in the hotels over here, What's wrong with giving them the burlap bags and the stick with the point on it and cleaning up the papers by the highway?
That's
At least
Daniella's
you get
question.
it.
I want to hear Daniela say that. Why aren't they working, Daniela? Why are you paying? Why are you, Daniela, forcing me to pay $39 million to one building? One building, Daniela. Not 50 buildings, not a whole bunch of stuff. One building, this guy's getting $39 million for 237 people. Please explain that to me.
It's funny Lenny said that. I just was talking to someone and I just said, if they're getting all this free money, why aren't they on the side of the streets working for it, picking up the stuff with the papers and doing the community service work? As if you're getting all these services from us, get a job. When we come in here, as my parents are Jamaican, when we came here,
At least on your day stay. You know,
something.
When you do a white collar crime, they let you do community service in the park. You got to go around picking up papers. Well, we ain't got the cleanest streets in the world, baby. I'm not calling you baby. I'm just making a statement. I'm sorry.
You're calling me baby.
I'm calling you baby. Bubba. Why can't they do something menial, something, anything? You get it free room.
I believe they should even be going at least to school and educating them in the English language. I mean, they're sitting here and doing nothing all day long is just unacceptable, Lenny. You are just hitting it on the button.
Did we all see last month in the New York Post black garbage bags filled with food because they don't like that type of food? Did you see it? All the food that's being wasted?
Yes,
But yet, if I pick you up, both of you, right now and take you in a car to Spring Street in Manhattan, we'll see possibly even United States veterans sleeping in doorways. Why?
You know what got me so upset about seeing those garbage bags and foods? The foods in the garbage bags? When I was working in one of the homeless shelters and I saw the food that they actually gave them, I was disgusted. It was 2 TV dinners heated up in a microwave with an orange and 2 boxes of milk.
Wow.
And that was a men's homeless shelter in Brooklyn.
And Daniela, Daniela, I'm sorry, I call you Daniela. I have a niece, Daniela. Just a wonderful name. Daniela, the homeless situation is, what do you think? According to Mayor Adams, it's okay. I mean, he even slept in one on a cot. You know that. You've been to homeless shelters. I know, but I want Daniela, who's gone to the homeless shelters, tell us what you see, how bad this situation is.
They're bad. I can speak for the ones in Brooklyn I went to are bad. The ones in the Bronx are bad. The family shelters in Queens are okay. Can they give them a better food option and better food source? Yes, because if you're feeding them and you're getting all this money per person, you're not getting that. Exactly.
I know it. Heshy knows it.
So it's...
Woman, what did you say, Lenny? What do we know?
People are making money on that. Danielle knows it. If she's seen it firsthand what they're getting fed, you know that the company that's getting the money to feed, you know they're lining their pockets. We all know it.
Well, Daniela, that's one of the first things we have to look into on where this money is going. Why are they giving them D kind of meals when they should be giving them better meals? I mean, I know what I pack a box for $150 on a weekend that lasts these families from Friday through Sunday, and I bet you for those 2 little dinners and breakfast, I bet you that alone, I bet you is about $50 or $40 for the day for garbage each person. So we have to look into where that money is going. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Our budget went up in the last year and a half, Lenny. The last year and a half, our budget went up for $9 billion and $8 billion. You're looking at $17 billion. It looks like we're...
And don't get me wrong, some of the shelters, I actually seen some of them, they're actually someone in there cooking the food for them. And that's at like one shelter I went to, though.
That's good. I bring to a shelter every other week or every 3 weeks pizza. And they're so happy. This women's shelter is so happy for a slice of pizza. I'm embarrassed to tell you that I can eat a whole pie. I know you. I mean, I'm not making fun, but these women for a slice. And I feel embarrassed when I give it to them because I can't give them more. I bring only like 5, 6 pies. It hurts me. And we're not like, look what Daniela said. We got to set up in-house kitchens. We've got to set up a better way to feed them. I didn't even think of that, Daniela.
Yeah.
That's the number one if you don't give them a good meal.
Yes, they need that.
What I said with the migrants. We have so many United States Navy ships that are in mothballs. They have galleys. They have bathrooms. Put them on there. Let them cook for themselves. If you pass these hotels, the windows are their refrigerators. You got to see, these are hotels. You got to see all the stuff lined outside their windows out here. What's wrong with putting on these mothball ships? They have galleys because they held all the military personnel. There's ovens there. There's stoves there. Get the food in there. Let them cook for themselves. It'll be like their own little city.
Well,
They have the facility there.
well, Lenny, that's what, and we should get them jobs and get them out there. That's very good. Danielle, you were saying like they want to take away our cars, they want to take our privileges, and I was just remembering now. You know, Lenny, we have a train that takes us to the airport, to your neighborhood. You know that Governor Hochul just shut down that air train thing? And she's telling us, and it was $2.5 billion to build it or something, and $450 million to run. They are now shutting it down, and you know how you have to get to the airport? Just take a bus. Now, Governor Hochul is the governor. She doesn't work in the city. She wants us now to inconvenience ourselves. The whole objective of living in the city is to get more convenience, to be cooler. And how they're shutting it down. You know how much money your community is going to lose by taking away this rail to the airline and so on. I don't understand. And how does she even mix in? We've got to stop that. We have it. We got to take it back, Danielle. I'm just telling you, this is bothering me very, very much. And you hit it on the button. We're taking it away. Take the bus. Again, this is just unacceptable.
Yes.
Lenny, Rikers, you know the jails. Another $2.5 billion is being spent above the $450 million above budget.
Fix Rikers. Don't move it. Fix it. Fix it. We've all heard young people go in there committing suicides or whatever. You got the facility there. Fix the facility.
What do you say, Daniela?
Make it so.
I want to hear Daniela. What do you think? It's your neighborhood, remember.
I do think they should fix Rikers, because if they don't, then we're going to end up with community jails. And
they've been talking about it so many years. Fix it already.
they need to.
Can we fix it, Daniela? Do you think it's fixable?
I think anything with the proper funding allocated the correct way.
They have so much money.
Yeah,
we just it's not being watched. We need to set up a commission, a bunch of civil people that don't make money, and of course we need a board that oversees, a committee that oversees this and takes this seriously, because they're not just they're getting hundreds of millions of dollars there, and it doesn't make sense that they can't fix this. And we have our COs getting beaten. We have our health professionals that are going to help them being beaten. We need to take care of this. This is your community. I believe it's your responsibility. I'm going to hold you responsible for that in City Council.
Rikers Island for a long time during the pandemic was actually hiring. I would get postings all the time because I worked for an agency, and they were paying a lot of money. I knew some nurses who worked there, and they all kept saying, I don't think you should work there right now because it's not organized. And there's something going on with the system or whatever. But
they've been saying this for 20 years. When are they going to fix it?
But the fixing problem is, here's the solution, Lenny. Let's close it down and start again somewhere else.
But that's not the solution. All of us, you, me, Danielle, we all know that's not the
Is that the solution, Danielle?
I really don't think so, because if they start somewhere else, they're going to start in our neighborhoods, and they're starting with rebuilding precincts and calling it we're doing the precinct over and making it bigger and better and spending hundreds of millions of dollars into making a precinct look pretty. And who's going to be in those? Your community is going to be there. A community jail. This is what they want. No Rikers. Where are you going to put them?
In their neighborhood.
Nope.
Everybody's going to fight it. Fix the problem. Fix the problem.
They do.
Just fix it.
They do.
Well,
Easier said than done.
our healthcare professionals, which you're part of the deal, they are being, when they came from other states, they were being overpaid. Now the nurses are complaining they're being underpaid. They want to strike. They don't want to strike. Our hospitals are not being run correctly. What do you think about that? Maybe fire them and start again?
No, they need to pay the nurses more money because they have it. And
But is that really true?
Yes, it's true. They have the money to pay the nurses.
As a doctor at 3 o'clock in the morning, when your line comes out and your blood's all over the bed. So that's just one example. I mean, give them what they need. It's not that they're coming in and putting a Band-Aid on after giving you a shot. Listen, I had COVID. I was hospitalized for 6 days. They knew what the hell they were doing.
Is that true? Aren't some of the nurses like overwhelmed and they can't control it, so they just give up and they don't care and they walk around? Or
So the nursing out in New York, nurses can become overwhelmed and overworked. In a nursing home, that's why I never worked in a nursing home, because the patient to nurse ratio is about 1 to 35.
that's wrong. We should hold them accountable.
Yes.
No. Wow, guys, did you hear this? Now you know why they were dying. We and what should be the ratio?
It should be California's patient to nurse ratio, I believe, is about 1 to 5.
And they're overwhelmed and they're underpaid. So that's why so many people died by us during the COVID.
And
Guys, you've been hearing me say it. Here's a girl from not my community, and she's now and a nurse. She is the one just confirming. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's why I said I would not, because by the time in the morning you have your AM medication and wounds to do, you're not even halfway finished with that. And then you have to do your afternoon medications. They're overworked and they're not paid enough. They're not, and it's not fair, and they're not staffing them right. This is why a lot of the nurses are leaving the city and they're going to the agency, because they're getting a lot more money that way. And the city needs to step up and they need to do something. Those contracts suck.
And we should hold the nursing home managers, 1 minute, Lenny. We should hold the nursing home managers and owners and administrative responsible personally. Is that correct?
Not them, because it's not them.
It's money.
It's the money.
But they're sucking the money for themselves. They're driving the Cadillacs. Let them take a little bit less of a profit and hire an extra nurse. Hire 2 extra nurses, but you should see what they're doing. I know my family's in the nursing home business.
Let me make Daniella laugh. You could also be Mayor Adams' ex-landlord, a former 911 operator, and now be a deputy commissioner and make $200 and something thousand too. How about that?
We have to look into that.
Yeah.
Commissioners being given jobs because you're friends doesn't work like that. I believe we should look over. They should be qualified the same way with inspectors. You can't just be, I just want you to know, I had a guy working for me and I trained him and I fired him. But I don't really fire people, but he started to do bad things and he applied for a city job. They hired him. They hired him as an inspector. No construction experience, only experience working for me. And yes, my experience is great, but he did some bad things and we had to let him go, and he used my experience and he became an inspector. It's just unexpectable that you don't have a job working in that industry and then you become an inspector or commissioner or whatever it is. Unacceptable.
Drain the swamp.
Well, me and Danielle are going to do it. Lenny, I want to thank you. I want to give Daniela to close out the show. I love you so much, Lenny. You're just always entertaining. I'm so happy you spoke it straight to Daniela, and I hope you have a good opinion of it. Remember, she's running as a Republican. Her website, go ahead.
Daniella4ny.com.
Spell it.
DANIELLAFORNY.com.
Guys, look into her. Name is Daniela May. $10, $20, $100. She will get the matching funds. We need her to beat her competitor, ex-DOT commissioner.
She sits on the board right now.
The board, DOT is just a mess of a mess. That's one. Those are the agencies I'm going after, Daniela. DOB, DOT, DOF. I'm going after all of them, and I'm hoping you help me create a committee, because everybody's scared of them. They bring a lot of money. Lenny, I love you. Have a great weekend. Daniela's website popped up again on my thing. No, he didn't do it correctly. It's Daniella, not the number 4, FOR. Come on, boy. Come on, fix that. Daniela, close out my show. Tell us about what's your vision, how strong you're going to do it, and do you really believe that you can help fix this city?
I believe I can definitely help this city, fix this city. I grew up in this city. I grew up in the neighborhood.
Will you be able to deal with all the different races, or just the black community or the Asian community? Or do you really care about us enough that you're going to stand there and scream and holler and fight for us?
Yes, because we all have the same problems. Doesn't matter what color you are, can you purple, green, white, or worship whoever you do. It's the same problems. Our kids are struggling. We're not getting the proper education. They're forcing stuff on our kids. The infrastructure everywhere is horrible. We need to fix that. Inflation is going to take us out. And we need to fix the crime that's going on all over, so that we have a better place to live and work and actually want to stay here. And then they wonder why everyone's moving out of New York.
I'm not leaving.
I'm New York strong, so I'm here for it.
You're the best. That hurt me.
I'm strong.
Everybody, thank you for watching the show. Daniela, thank you for coming on the show. Not that you only entertained me, but you were informative. I was so proud of you on that, teaching us about the vaccine because people didn't believe me so many times, explaining to us, maybe should I wear a mask?
No.
Good. You know that when you do your campaign finance video, you have to wear a mask still?
I didn't do the campaign finance video.
But you should because they'll give you money. But they're making me wear a mask.
To do the video in your house?
Not my house. You have to go to their studio and wear the video. I mean, is the mandate should be over? It's still not over yet.
I thought they were lifted. Where is this?
It's not officially lifted. He lifted it for this. He lifted it for that. The kids can go voluntarily. You and I have to just stop it. And one more thing, Daniela.
Yes.
I would like you to help me propose legislation. Like other states, we're going to have to do it twice, that when we want to recall a bad mayor or that idiot governor, we should have the right to put the signatures, and if the voters just don't have to be stuck with them for 4 years, we can recall them if we're sick of them.
Yes, that's what a government should be.
That we could recall if we're not happy, not that we just voted you in and we're stuck with you.
Exactly.
Thank you, Daniela, for coming to the show. She's wonderful. I want to thank your parents for letting you come. Not that they needed to give you permission, but it seems like they worked hard to bring up a good, well-rounded New Yorker. You are my hero. You've said, not that you've made me happy and made me happy. You actually believe, and I know the way I've researched you, that you believe in these things, and I can't wait to sit in city council with you. I'm so proud of you. Thank you, everybody. Here's my music. Watch my show. Come back Wednesday. I'm going to try to invite Daniela over for Passover, even though those matzahs are terrible. You're going to freak out. Good night, everybody.